First and foremost, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Also, true like beside the King of Kings, royalty himself, Yahweh Shah, Mashiach. Also, the final Father truth, out of one West. This is Fallen Kings coming back at you yet with another lesson. Before I go farther in this lesson into details, this lesson intended to the 12 tribes of Israel, which consists of the so-called blacks, the so-called Native American Indians, the so-called Latino descent. You represent the 12 tribes of Israel, that's lost but not found. And also our brothers and sisters that scattered abroad, and also who refer to as minorities in this country. If you link back up to the 12 tribes, you are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Shalom to you. So yeah, I'm going to call this lesson, America Had Its Ties into Slavery. As you look in this pictures here, these are the Confederate flags. But a lot of people don't realize, before the Confederate and Union broke apart, they both had their hands in slavery. So much so that even after slavery was over with, it took them many years, well, for them to even enforce the law to free the slave, which was, I believe, was a Mason Proclamation, I believe, to free the slaves. If I'm trying to quote it the best way I can. But America had a heavy force in slavery, in which you read the history and the historical fact, they had their hand involved, what you call the triangular trade with Great Britain and France. These was the three big hitters: America, Great Britain, and France. They definitely had major involvement in slavery, and through that triangular slave trade came the international slave trade, which we know today as the Atlantic slave trade. So all that plays a part, and America had a heavy part into that. And I just want to get this in the book of Revelations real quick. I'm gonna make this a quick lesson. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, meaning her philosophies, and they also had their hand into slavery. We're going to read that now. And the wrath of her fornications, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. This is the part I want to get to. This is how you know they had their hands in the slave trade. It's also talking about America, which is Babylon the Great. And the merchant of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. Meaning everyone had their hand in the slavery, and it started from that triangular slave trade, and then it made it to an international scale, which we know today, the international slave trade. This is second precept. I'm going to close it out. This is Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 13. Woe to him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness. Was not America built off unrighteousness? I mean, come on, you steal a man from his heritage and his land, and you cover the faces of the judges. You put yourself up as the hierarchies. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong. Was not this place built by wrong, by the Atlantic slave trade and the triangular slave trade? That uses his neighbor's servants without wages, and giveth him not for his work. And did they pay us? No, they did not pay us. And now it's to the point now where the tab got it's so heavy now that they can't pay us now. There's no way Esau can pay us physically, because the debt is too big now. When you think about all the countless inventions and all the countless patents that were stolen from us through the slave trade, cotton gin is one of them, what I mentioned earlier. If I didn't mention it, I wanted to mention it. The cotton gin was a major invention that the so-called black man invented, which we know is the Israelite man. So they got a lot to pay for, man, and they still benefiting from these inventions today, but we get none of the credit for it. And that's why it will be a judgment, But I just want to point out that America had a heavy hand into the slave trade, and I want to definitely point into that. That's the name of the lesson, and I hope this lesson bear edifying to the hopeful elect out there. Until next lesson, I say shalom. But before I close out, I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, also true back beside the King of Kings, royalty himself, Yahweh Shah, Mashiach, also the final Father, true Father, one West. Shalom, Israel.